Hi everybody, welcome back to Story Reckless. I'm Nathan, I'm the DM here, and I use he, him pronouns. And we are gonna play some D&D tonight. Let's do some player intros.
My name's Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I'm playing Kidon, half-elf grave cleric. Considerably less tired. Still same man cheerful.
My name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Calliope, Air Genasi Artificer, and I have checked the box on the please resuscitate me if I die.
Hi, I'm Enyo. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Pip, who also checked to the please resuscitate me, but don't tell anybody necessarily.
Awesome. I'm glad that we got that all out of the way and everybody knows what's going to happen when they die, if Kadam can get to them in time.
Yeah, that's the key. Assuming Kadam's also not down.
You're not going to gentle repose and then cut off our heads?
Oh my god.
Well, then you couldn't come back.
Not until you get some more powerful magic.
Well, would that be an 8th level spell?
Something like that, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get there.
Cool. Well, one thing I wanted to say before two things, I guess, before we jump into the recap. One, you should go check out the little video that Claire, Enyo, and Olive did. It's a small little side session with just the characters, all RP focused. I don't think there's any major plot things that are explored, so it's purely bonus content. I still need to watch it. I've been very busy this week and haven't had time to check it out yet. But I'm gonna be on a plane very soon, so maybe I can figure out a way to download it and listen to it.
YouTube exclusive. It is not on Twitch.
There you go. Yeah,
you will have to go to YouTube.
I'll have to go to our YouTube channel, which actually has been getting more views than we've gotten in the past, which is surprising, but cool. So
yeah. The most recent episode's been extremely popular, and I'm not sure why.
Wait, what is extremely popular?
I mean, for us.
Like quadruple the amount of views that we normally get in the first week?
That's 4 times.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, go check it out if you have time. And the other thing I just want to say is that we won't be streaming next week, or at least, I don't know if y'all are planning on doing another thing on your own, but I will not be here next week. I'm going to be out on vacation, and yeah, as I said, I'll be on a plane soon, so I'll be gone. But we will be returning the following week, and the following week we are we're kind of figuring out the logistics. It should be happening, but we're going to all be playing in person. In the same room, because we're all going to be in the same state, in the same area. So hopefully we can do that.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
At the very least, we're going to see each other and maybe just do our normal setup here, but we'll be in the same building and we can shout at each other if we want. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. I think that's all the announcements for today. Yes. Okay. Let's do a recap. Shall we? We shall. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I was trying to find... There it is. Okay. Last we left off, we all just watched as Kadam, Calliope, and Pip returned back from the deep part of the crypts in this in the crypts underneath High Hall. They returned back with Glim, Calliope's mentor from her time in Elturel, as well as a couple of magic items. Going into the crypt and taking some time to relax and rest and recuperate. You had some conversations, you caught up with old friends, You got to know people a little better and started to discuss what it is you're hoping to accomplish next. There were talks of going to seek out older Raven Guard. There were talks of maybe going to investigate the chains. And there were even talks of going up to investigate the companion itself. If you can somehow find a way to get up there. Calliope mentioned maybe trying to salvage some of the equipment that the Hell Riders used to use to head up to the companion. But no decisions were made quite yet. You all bedded down for the evening, got your long rest. Kadam was visited by their deity, and I don't think anything else happened in the night, right? That was the only major thing. Yeah, I think that was the only little visit. And yeah, you wake up in hours have passed. in the time that is there's time in the untime of hell.
But how much time is it on the material plane, Nathan?
Well, I don't know. Y'all don't necessarily know. I think you have a decent idea, because through conversation, I believe Kadam pieced it together that it was right.
4 hours on the material plane for every hour down here, roughly, I think.
Is that right? Maybe that is.
I could be wrong about that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I'll leave that up to y'all to piece together. So as you all wake up and are here, you can see people milling about, doing their best to follow some semblance of a daily routine. You can see Feria is going around and checking in on everyone, making sure everybody's feeling okay. You can see her kind of kneeling down and having conversations with groups. But what are you all doing as you start your day?
Well, I think we finished up our breakfast and language lessons, which
Yes.
again, you can see over on youtube.com. And it transitioned smoothly into the whiteboard scene where I think Calliope has just finished playing out the various kind of approaches that we can take.
Got it. Okay.
Which again, to
Right, with the
reiterate,
chalkboard,
is
yeah.
just kind of like pop, or I think like a, I like more than popping out. I think just like there's like a little like spring pull down for a like whiteboard or chalkboard or something, and it goes like clack 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 because it's in like a whole bunch of little segments.
Cool.
And we have written on chalk either Victusa/Tiamat politics, because we have some of Tiamat's treasure and we have the name of the person who is doing the search upstairs. We could try to find some old balloon equipment and go and get closer to the companion to see why it's evil. That's, however, complicated by the fact that there's a nightmare kind of running around up there, so we might have to deal with that first. And like we could like try to ambush it or something if we wanted to do that. We could go and inspect one of the spikes that is kind of like embedded in the city and chaining this to the plains far below. And it seems that devils are crawling up. There's a lot of them though, but like if we could get those detached from the city physically, that wouldn't be a bad place to start. Then I think conveniently, Raven Guard and his allies headed off towards one of the spikes, or towards an area of the city with one of the spikes in it. Final order of business is if we need a magic sword for one of our strong ladies, we have a sleeping strong lady who's maybe not using her sword in the next room. That seems magical. So maybe we could do a little bit more light grave robbing.
With permission.
With permission. Con permiso.
I feel like the light grave robin's right there and is pretty easy to take care of. Do we want to just do that first right now?
Hey, you, other rare.
Valor looks at you and raises her eyebrows.
You have those weapons of yours. How do they do it against devils? Raya number 1 was having some problems.
All right, if we're
Calliope,
going...
please use their hell names.
Oh yeah, excuse me.
No.
Your name is now Nettle. I forgot to tell you. Okay, Nettle. This is your hell name.
All right,
Clappy.
before
Yeah.
we proceed,
Uh-huh.
my name is Valor.
Okay. But do you want the devils to know that? They have like
They
name
don't
magics
need to
and
know
stuff.
that, but I would
Yeah,
like
they don't need to
you-
know that. So
I
if
would
we're
like
talking,
you to know my name and refer to me by my name.
okay, Valor.
All right, yes.
Uh,
Now we can have a conversation.
Yes. How are your swords against devils?
Not great.
Okay. Do you want to go on a little field trip?
Sure.
Hey, Faria.
She looks up from like a small family that she's talking to, and kind of like, tells them to wait a moment, and then kind of comes toddling over towards you. Yes.
Quietly, I will say, what do you think the reaction would be if we took the unknown hero's sword to go battle devils?
Oh, well, that's rather complicated.
That's why I'm asking, yeah.
Some might not view it very well. For you to take that from her. She's a great symbol. It might not be best, to be honest. Most folks here, I think, would be very upset. Unless you had some way of having a blessing or I'm not sure. That could cause some problems. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can
What if we
understand
had-
the need for it, though.
What if we had some sort of like ceremony, asking permission for that? Like people could like show up, a little bit of a party, be like, yes, we are using the legends of this city, the strength of its history sustains it in its hour of darkest need, that sort of thing.
That could help, yes.
Yeah?
I think that definitely could help.
And I could ask her for permission. I have no idea if I would get a response, but like I'm definitely willing to try that. And if she says no, then certainly not.
How do you mean? Would you be reaching out to the spirit somehow? The soul?
The spirit. Yeah.
Oh, I understand. Okay. It would, if others were to see that don't understand the intricacies of spirits and souls, it certainly could help. Yes, I could see that working. Where are you planning on going with it, though? Are you planning to leave us?
We were hoping to get to Light Ward, maybe, or
that would be
possibly undo some of the spikes that are dragging the city down,
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
or see if there's something we can do about the companion. Like, we have several ideas.
If Lightward is alive, or even Ravengard, if you could bring them here, that would be a great boost to the morale. And perhaps that might make the, as you would say, the pill easier to swallow, right? If the folks here knew what the sword was being used for.
We can tell them.
Okay, yes. Are you doing this now?
No
We're
time like the
heading out
present.
pretty soon.
Okay. Do you want me to make an announcement to gather
Please.
folks up? Okay.
Yeah, if folks want to be witness to this, I'm comfortable with that. And I look around at the others.
I have a question. So has anybody ever heard the unknown hero speak? Has she ever spoken?
No, I mean that was so many years ago, before the companion even arrived, is when that happened, and
I step on Pip's foot. I don't know if she can feel it.
Yeah. Pip just kind of keeps talking.
Or-
no one's
Pip,
ever heard her voice. She's really a mythic figure. She showed up as the story goes, she showed up from out of nowhere, and before anyone could interact with her, she dropped dead after saving the city. So
if you could gather everybody in maybe 15 minutes.
okay. You need some time to prepare. I understand. Of course.
Of course.
Okay, I'll give you some time, and I'll bring everyone over in 15.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All
And
right,
she
Dad.
goes back off into the crowd.
Pip, absolutely not.
Oh, but come on! How are people supposed to know about souls and everything? At least this way, she's giving her. Well, at least okay. How about it won't happen unless whatever soul thing you feel, she gives her consent. All right. That way, it's just it's an accessibility issue, Kadam.
No.
Not everybody can understand soul language. This way, it's disseminated among all
You-
of the population.
You've watched me do this before, Pip. You have been able to hear whatever it is the person's saying.
All right, but if they don't say what we want them to.
Then we move on with our lives.
All right, okay. I was copying your accent. That's how strong of a personality you are right now.
Well, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, but if you change your mind, can I just in case?
I doubt that will happen in the next 15 minutes.
Okay. Well, fine.
All right.
Well, I guess I have 15 minutes to do other things then.
So 15 minutes go by as Pip. What do you do in 15 minutes, Pip?
I think Pip is going to put up kind of gonna go around with some sort of UV reactive paint or something, and maybe draw and talking to Calliope okay, what are some of the fancy things that this unknown hero does? Anything we can do to just make it? We want to make this a spectacle.
Oh yeah.
Some symbols to appear. Some symbols to go up.
I think I got a little thing. We could do like a little diorama. We used to do those with the kids in the schools. Like we could have a little mechanical dragon.
That's kind of a lot for 15 minutes.
Okay,
I think we can do that.
I think we can both do it. Okay. Do you want the dragon or the hero miniature to do? If we work
I just
together, we
want
can
to
do
make some. Okay, fine. But first, and I'm just gonna put up so that just get some prestidigitation things ready. I'm gonna set up some phosphorescent things so that I glow and whatever.
Okay, are they just gonna be little symbols that glow, or?
Yeah, if I can find some sort of holy symbol or something that seems morale boosting, and I'm sure
Okay.
the Elturel native can help me with that.
And I have 2 more slots of magical tinkering, so I can make 2 little animated miniatures.
If you're looking for holy symbols, I mean, there's a lot of holy symbols of Torm around here. Faria, you notice she is wearing a holy symbol around her neck. She has it looks to be gold chain with a circular kind of medallion on it at the end, but it's it almost looks like spokes of a wheel, but you look at it more closely and you realize it's probably an abstract representation of a sunrise, because there's a line that cuts through the middle and then a little half circle with lines coming out of it. But she has that holy symbol around her neck. So those are kind of the 2 major ones that you've noticed in the space.
Calliope, would it be weird to just kind of throw both of those on here?
That hurt, right?
Yeah.
Lots of iconography.
You're right. One on each shoulder. Like
Yeah, yeah.
cauldrons. Okay, great.
Okay.
You're
So-
spicing it up a bit, Kadam.
So you
Oh,
set,
I'm not there actually.
Okay, cool.
So you set that up. You get these two symbols: a symbol of Torm, a symbol of whatever this other one is that you don't know, on the other side. And Calliope, you're making a small little dragon. Are you doing your like tinkering?
Yeah, I'm using my 2 tinkering slots to just make 2 little animated gifs almost,
Okay.
like little miniatures.
Of like a little
like
mini
the-
dragon and a little mini sword wielding warrior.
Remind me, what was the legend again? Like she just like went out with no armor or anything?
Yeah, it was
She just-
a young red dragon was terrorizing Elturel like before it was really a city. And she came strolling out from seemingly nowhere, no armor. She just had this great sword. The dragon laughed in her face, and before it knew what was happening, she basically hacked it to shreds.
And then she
Died.
take the bucket, right? Yeah, so I think I programmed that into where it's just like
Okay.
the action figure just kind of like falls backwards. and it's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Little
Okay.
X's in its eyes. Sure.
Awesome. So you both are working feverishly in this 15 minutes to get all this set up at the altar, which is gleaming with this strange sunlight, the peaceful body of this woman lying there with the giant greatsword, and the two of you are like frantically going around doing this. Kadam, what are you doing in this 15 minutes?
I was going to go to the body and ritual cast detect magic
Okay.
just to make sure this is worth it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
you
our
sit
dog
there for
magic.
10 minutes, ritually casting it, while the two of them are like busy, like running around, setting something up. After 10 minutes pass, you do detect magic. Well, you obviously detect a lot of magic in the space in general, and there is magic emanating from the sword.
Okay.
It's I'm trying to think if this would come.
Are you sure you
through.
don't want the sword to talk?
There's. Yeah, I don't know if you would really get this with detect magic. I you know, it's. There's maybe something a little different about it. It almost seems to kind of like ebb and flow with the amount of magic that's running through it. So that's kind of like all you really gather. But it is magical. It has... What kind of magic would this be? It has... like abjuration coming off of it, and whatever sort of just like, you know, generic enchantment magic that makes something magical, like to be more potent. Yeah. So abjuration and well, sure, enchantment. It is enchanted.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, it's worth doing this. Any other weird magic around, like things that I wouldn't expect, or
In that area?
yeah, or on the people who are gathering?
Oh, right, yeah. So people do start to gather up. You actually detect some strong magic coming off of Feria's holy symbol.
Okay.
Very powerful. Oh, what is that magic? Oh, abjuration magic coming off of the holy symbol. Any other magic? I don't think there's any other magic in this area that you detect.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, there is kind of strong abjuration magic. Like there is some coming from the sword, but there is strong abjuration magic that is radiating outwards from this tomb itself. Like going, you can see it kind of like spilling out into the room where everybody is gathering, and it starts to just dissipate as it goes like up into the top of the stairs and like a little beyond the two hallways to the north and south. But yeah, very strong abjuration.
Can I figure out what the magical situation of this is at all? Like, Is it like a taking the sword away removes the enchantment?
Go
kind
ahead
of
and
thing?
That's a
roll,
great question.
roll an Arcana check as you start to inspect this. As
Can I
we'll say-
aid with that? With my detect magic?
Sure, yeah. As
I would
the
say
two
like
of you-
probably the only reason I'm able to do this is because you have detect magic up, and I can be like, hey, could you get your eyes on this? Just double check it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
And
say
you
this
see
is
the like
yeah.
flat silver irises that Kadam has while doing this.
I'd say this is happening like probably most of the crowd is gathered at this point. So the two of you like last minute kind of like are like hunched over and like inspecting. Go ahead and make that Arcana roll.
With or without advantage, with help.
I would say with advantage. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you have Kadam there.
29.
29.
Ooh.
So, boy, how is this working? Divine stuff is always so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not my specialty.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing, right?
but-
So,
It
But-
is mine.
yeah,
it's Kidam's, and I did a lot of work on the companion specifically,
yeah.
and like how its energy flowed around and stuff.
So what you gather, based on. Okay, sure. I'm gonna go with this. Kind of there is a lot of like very subtle, like you didn't really notice them at first. Very, very subtle, like scriptures carved into the cart that she's resting on. And as you start to look through them, you recognize that it's very similar. Like you're getting similar feelings from what was on the bridges of Torm. When you came to this side, so you suspect that you did get a 29, but I'm not going to give it to you exactly what it does. But you suspect that it has something to do with repelling fiends, undead, things of that nature, and not necessarily humanoids or other creatures. So,
Okay.
and it does seem to be coming like not necessarily from the sword, but from this like entire little shrine that is set up here.
I'll relay that and be like, if it's worth it, I got my pearl over there with Big Dummy. I could take a closer look. It would take about 10 more minutes.
Let's hold off on that.
Okay.
I think we're all right to at least go ahead and ask.
At this point, the crowd is entirely gathered, and Feria is kind of like getting everybody settled, and you can hear her kind of announcing to the crowd, the individuals that arrived and have helped some of us who were lost in the crypts, they wanted to seek aid from the unknown hero, and in order to aid them on what they're going to be doing next, I'm going to turn the floor over to them. And she turns and her back to the crowd and looks up at you, Kadam. If you don't mind.
Yeah. Folks, my name is Kidam of Baldur's Gate. I'm here with my friends Calliope and Rhea of the Hell Riders, who came to Baldur's Gate to seek aid. They were outside of the city limits when Elturel fell and came asking for help. And I wanted to help. And together we have come down here in an attempt to help raise the city back up to its proper place.
There's definitely a murmur of kind of hopeful whispers that runs through the crowd when you say that.
But as I am sure you all know, in times like these, we need to band together so that we may flourish as a group. And I turn to look at the body. This hero has saved Elturel once before, and we hope that she may now assist us in doing so again. I'm going to ask her a few questions, particularly around the use of her sword. if she would be all right with us carrying it once more into battle in defense of Elturel. You all will be able to hear this and see it for yourselves. If she says no, we will leave this sword here and we will continue onward without it. But if she says yes, I do hope that you all will allow us to take the sword and use it as it was before.
Everyone's sort of pressing in closer. One individual, looks to be a human man, kind of scrunches his brow, looking over you. Are you gonna be taking it? A Baldurian?
No.
Doesn't seem right.
I understand that. That makes sense. I turn to Rhea and just kind of like...
she will step forward. Hello everyone, I'm Hoof Rhea. I truly think that it would be, if she says yes, that this would aid us greatly. I hope you do understand, and although Kadam may be from Baldur's Gate, they are, they have already done so much for all of us. And I know they would do it for anyone, no matter where you're from. So please trust them. That one gentleman kind of crosses his arms and just sort of leans back and watches the rest of the crowd sort of looking around apprehensively, pushing in a bit closer to see what happens next.
I will turn. Oh, go ahead. Yep.
And before we ask, we prepared a small showing for anybody, just so the unknown hero's story continues to be told, to refresh it all in our memories.
Amazing. What happens?
I think Calliope brings out a little 3/4 a cardboard box with the front and top cut out, and there's a little wooden those artist mannequins.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's like that, but there's kind of a dragon that's been posed in a really menacing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not animated, so it just kind of teeters forward towards a painting of the city that I think I got to do.
Can you real quick, just to see how well
I'd love
this
to make
all
a roll
looks.
about this.
Yes, please just roll. This would basically be like a tool check, right? Because you were using your tools to construct this in 15 minutes. So it would be intelligence plus your proficiency bonus, and you can tell me what tool set you're using.
I would be using, in this case, probably just Tinker's tools. It's a little bit of a cop out, I think. But
I think that totally works. Go ahead and roll your bonuses.
What's my proficiency again?
Should be +3 at this stage. I don't know.
I think you get double.
I don't know. Do you get double on all tools that you're proficient in?
I think so.
Okay, sure. Go for it.
Okay. Jesus. So that's 4 + 3 + 3. So that's +10 to this.
+10. 14.
14.
Okay. Hey, it's at 15 minutes. It's passable. It's not the most beautiful thing, but it's moving, and that's enough to get, especially the younger folks in the crowd, to really light up their eyes, sparkling at this marvel that's before them as you hold this little diorama out before them. It starts to play out.
Whips out her pan pipes to provide some kind of suitable background music.
All right. As the music is playing and the two holy symbols on the wall sort of light up, Kadam,
sorry, and then the unknown hero dies
at the end,
in the diorama, and I think Calliope will just very solemn be yes, and pick up this little action figure and move over to the dais and put it kind of at the foot of an offering.
Okay, so you place it there at the like resting on the edge of this cart that she's resting upon, and it lies down, and the whole crowd kind of like sort of gasps with like excitement with this little show that's played out, and then there's kind of a solemn moment of quiet that goes over everyone as the pan flute music. Do you kind of like bring the song to an end? As Pip brings the song to an end, and Kadam, you are standing there before the body of the unknown hero.
Sweating in front of my audience, I'm going to take a deep breath and cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. As you release the spell, there's a long, long, long moment. Nothing's happening. Then the chest slowly rises and the lips barely peel open, and a very faint breath sort of escapes. The eyes remain closed.
Hero of Elturel, the city once again has need of your aid. We have been dragged down into hell itself and are beset by devils on every side. All we ask of you is this. May we take your sword to use in this fight against the legions of hell, so that we may restore this city to its rightful place upon the material plane.
The lips almost unmoving. You just hear a voice escape, very faint, the crowd almost pushing in to hear it, as the woman says, "Prove yourself."
How might we do that?
The hands that are clasping the sword gently release and slide down to her side. Prove yourself.
I look over at Rhea.
She'll shakily reach her hand out. The crowd seems to lean in even more. And she will place it on the hilt of the sword. You have her stat block.
I do.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Yes.
Thumbs up, did it count as guidance? Or with the help action?
15?
Okay.
That's like not
as
bad.
she's clutching onto it, her hand shaking, her eyes wide, and you see her almost look off into some distance beyond where you are. And for a solid, probably close to a minute, she just stands there. And she flips it around, holding it in her hand. She'll turn and look at the crowd. I was just now confronted with something I wish not to say out loud. But do know that it was... I found myself persevering, pushing through. I think it's... She kind of looks anxiously to you, Kadam. I think it's a sign. And she'll clutch both hands on the blade. Do any of you do anything?
The hero of Elturel, rising up in Elturel's hour of need, bestowing her blessed sword to a new mortal coil.
And as you shout that out, the crowd...
Raya, uncinder. Raya,
the crowd
uncinder.
immediately goes out into cheers. Even the one gentleman that's kind of being like jostled around, still arms crossed, kind of looking, starts to clap as everyone within the space starts to cheer. And Rhea sort of anxiously... Valor is kind of leaning against the wall amongst the crowd watching all this. She looks a little disappointed as she's kind of gently clapping like...
You had to improvise.
Do you think it would be bad then? Do we have to bring Rhea, or can we still bring Valor?
Let's do some table talk about that after we finish this.
Yeah.
But Rhea kind of breathes out a sigh of relief, smiling amongst the crowd, and then looks over the group of you, looks to you, Calliope. All right, are we done with the theatrics? And just keeps smiling back at the crowd.
I think so. I think we can be done. And I was kind of back.
Okay.
Okay, we're done here, everybody. Let's go back to our little crusty tomb. We'll be back. Don't worry.
And everybody's like kind of, happily talking amongst themselves as the crowd slowly disperses, and Feria, sort of clapping, comes up to all of you. That went really well. Congratulations, as she goes up to Rhea and gives her a little pat. I just hope you don't drop dead spontaneously after... You know what? It's fine. You'll be fine. Good luck. And she turns, kind of turning away, goes, I'm going to go attend to everyone else. Please, come find me before you leave. And she will head out back to the tomb, to the crypt.
Good call on that, Kidam. Good perception of optics. Sorry about that. Valor.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yes? You called to me?
Oh, yeah, good. Sorry about that. But, things change. You kind of feel it out.
I understand. But, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed. Kind of glances over at Rhea. Rhea just looks at her. Well, I did prove myself worthy, so it is mine. And she will sheath it as she puts it in the sheath and kind of straps it onto her back. By the way, Kadam, she has a great sword now, +1, and there's some other things about it. So.
Okay, I will note that down in a minute. I turn back to the unknown hero.
Okay.
Unless, Pip, you want to say something?
I was just going to ask Rhea what she saw, but let's do your thing first.
Oh. I say to her, would you like your name to be known here?
The faint voice slowly creeps out. No. I think that's it. Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like either to share or to receive?
the voice just gently creeps out and says, always remember to do what's right for the many. And then goes quiet. There, is that your last question? Was that all 5? Or you
That was my 4th.
You technically have a 5th?
I technically have one more, but I will just say, I will do my best. Thank you. And end the spell.
Okay. The chest gently drifts back down. And, yeah, I think the arms just remain at the side, no longer crossed. Okay. What would you all like to do next?
Hey, Rhea, I don't think you're a hoof anymore. I'm gonna. How'd you like to? I don't know. I don't know if the Hell Riders are like really a thing anymore, or if it's important. But we keep introducing you as a hoof, and I think that might have been a a little bump up.
If you think so, Calliope, I can see the benefit in keeping that symbol alive for those that... We did do some good things over the years.
Yeah, we did. I mean, then again, a hoof saving the city is a great story.
I suppose it is. Why don't we leave it at that then for now?
Sounds good. Okay. I think we head back and start preparing to head out.
Okay.
Do we want to do some table talk?
Yeah, let's do some table talk.
Valor versus Rhea. You can't take the 2 NPCs of the same class.
I'm totally okay keeping Rhea.
Again, like, what I'll say is this: I don't want it to feel totally out of left field for you to only take one. What I would essentially say is to not like play out the whole scene. Is as you're kind of discussing like what you're doing next, and you're kind of planning. Feria kind of comes over just to check in and see what you're thinking. And if you do mention like wanting to bring Valor and Rhea and Glim and like all these other folks, you can see her really starting to become very anxious at that thought as she kind of like glances down at the very decorative glass mace at her side, and she sort of, in her own way, asks if some of those folks could stay behind to help protect them if something were to happen. And that's kind of like, that's what you're contending with here, but I'm not necessarily going to stop you from taking those that you want to take. And in fact, I mean, like, Valor seems pretty anxious and like kind of wants to go, but she also understands. So with that knowledge, what do you all want to do?
Would it be weird to leave Rhea here?
I was gonna say, do we leave Rhea here with the sword?
I mean, if they seem to like the symbol. I do have magic weapon today.
Okay.
It's good for an hour and takes up one of my very few 2nd level spell slots, but that's an option.
I'm sure we will find other magical weapons.
Somewhere in the city. Is there an armory in High Hall?
We found it, remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah. Honestly, my other thought is Victusa was described as having a big sword. If they were suddenly dead.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we lure Victusa in with some of the treasure. We got some Tiamat treasure. Then we ambush her. Then
give Valor their sword. Hope that it's magical.
That would be so funny if it wasn't.
It's like, well, I guess we just did this for nothing. Okay, so
Again,
stupid.
second plan that doesn't end up with Val having a magic sword.
That was a beautiful scene. Honestly, like, I think Rhea should keep the sword, and I still want to take Valor with us.
Okay, are we gonna lure Victusa? Are we gonna lure Victusa down to into the crypt so that we have Rhea, or no? Or just lure?
I think we just do an ambush upstairs
Okay.
somehow. And also, that would get the immediate search off of the backs, and then like we could go in and out the main entrance, maybe.
Maybe. I think it's worth talking to Victusa first. And if things go south, we try and kill her. Them.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, do we just go
Like,
out
in like
the
a
secret entrance?
persuasive way?
Sorry, I didn't hear either of you because you're talking over each other.
In a persuasive way? Because. Okay. What? And Victusa wants that Tiamat treasure. Okay.
Supposedly. According to Olfram.
Okay.
Who I don't think was lying.
Cool.
They couldn't have actually. So yeah. You were saying, Olive?
So like, we know where she is, kinda, or where
Mhm.
she was, a day ago. Do we just like go out that secret entrance, come back in the front door, and just be like, "Oh, oi, get down here," something like that?
Do we know how far the secret exit takes us, though? Like, might we have to go back through half the city?
Yes. Maybe we could do it on the way back.
So
once
we'll
we
just
come
take
back.
Valor and not
Oh.
have a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, we've made this
We could do
before.
that. Right?
We might find something in the city. It's a big city.
It is. I'm just fine heading out towards the graveyard with Valor. And no fancy sword.
The fancy sword is here being its good holy symbol and taking care of the people of Elturel. It's doing what it was made to do, I guess.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
How does Freya feel about that?
Having this conversation, Rhea, she does tend to like look to you, Calliope.
Yeah.
There's still that like old habit. But as you're having this discussion, she does look at you and she says, I honestly, I wouldn't mind staying. I think it does, I would like to protect these people, but, I'll go with what you think is best. I'm happy to stay here, though.
Okay, I'll tell you the secret, the code word that I said for the lock at the main entrance, in case it comes in handy. And it's just like some security Hellriders thing.
Okay, perfect.
Maybe a type of grain.
Okay, sure.
Barley.
Barley.
Barley. Barley's the password.
Okay, barley. Cool.
Not a very strong password. You're not going to have any, symbols or.
Oh, you're right. Should be something later in the dictionary. So in case somebody's just like has a dictionary and like is flipping through it, trying to get through it. No, if they're doing that, we probably want them to. Because I don't know if that was the dictionary.
Okay, so sorry, was there a plan decided on? You're gonna go.
We're just heading out
Into the graveyard.
You're gonna go
with,
towards the graveyard.
I think Lulu and Valor.
Okay, and you're gonna go through the main entrance, or you're gonna try
Secret
to
entrance.
go through
Secret.
secret entrance. Okay, cool.
See ya, Glim.
Oh yeah, Glim looks up. Hey, yeah, Calliope.
You want us to pick up anything while we're out? Eggs, milk.
If you can find some eggs and milk, yes.
You got it.
I'll
do my best.
Okay, so you all gather up around that fountain and sort of like, I'm gonna need somebody to make an investigation roll as you're scoping this fountain out.
Scoping out the fountain.
I will guide Rhea. Nope. I will guide Pip.
Okay.
I will help Pip.
Okay, so as Pip and Calliope get down and start inspecting the fountain, you get guidance, Pip, from Kadam. Feria does come and check in with you all to find out where you're going. As she's kind of like talking to you, Kadam, and Pip and Calliope are hunched over the fountain.
That's a 21.
21. Yeah, Pip, as you carefully look over the fountain, you find that at the base of the fountain, in one of the armored feet of the figure that's standing there of Torm, it's kind of a representation of almost like an armored knight. One of the kind of like articulated plates, you realize it can slide into the toe, the toe can slide back into the foot, and as you push on it, it slides in and sort of clicks, and the entire base of this statue is able to swivel and pivot to the side. As it does, the water that's being like filtered through slowly trickles and comes to a stop. And you pivot the whole thing to the side, revealing kind of a circular hole going down into a dark space.
Classic armored foot in a fountain trick.
As it slides to the side, and there's kind of that slight... Actually, no, there's no real release of pressure here. It just sort of pushes to the side, and you're looking down into this darkened space. There's a moment, Pip, as you're looking down into this space, you see two reflective eyes staring back up at you. And before you can really react, a shape comes spilling out and darts into the space. I would say that Pip and Calliope can make attacks of opportunity as to whatever this might be. This dark, shadowy shape sort of comes spilling in. Do you both make attacks of opportunity?
Yeah, we'll do it.
I'm not in Big Dummy.
Then, I mean...
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm a little old lady with 6 strength.
Okay, and Pip, for attacks of opportunity, just to reiterate, you have to use a melee weapon, so if you have a melee weapon, you can use that. You won't be able to use your pistol.
Okay. So I do have a light hammer, but for flavor, can I just say it's like pistol whipping?
Oh, yeah, sure. I like that. Sure. Yeah, you whip the pistol around. Go for it.
That one.
You spin to smack it, and you lose your footing and tumble into the dark hole and fall through, disappearing. And you only fall like probably 8 feet or so, like not really enough to necessarily cause any damage, but you kind of knock the wind out of yourself as you land in that dark space. Kadam, you watch as this dark, somewhat humanoid, shadowy shape with like a kind of tendril of shadow spilling off the back shoots out into the room. There is a gasp of fear that scatters throughout the space, and you watch as it goes straight towards the closest individual.
I will word of radiance that thing.
Okay.
I think I'm the closest individual. Am I not?
It kind of shot past the two of you.
Got it.
And you see that sitting right kind of near this fountain was... let's see. Who was it? You see Petra was sitting close by the fountain, kind of watching you all leave. You probably were just saying goodbye.
Okay.
And
I actually had written down, and I was going to interrupt you, but it's like, no, I'll let Pip have their thing. I was giving Petra the dragon figurine animated, so if it stops doing its little claw rawr attack, sequence, he'll
Got
know
it.
something happened to me.
So
did Gummy-
we'll say that you were Pip had just finished this and it was like
Yeah.
pushing it open, so you were pulling out the little dragon and turning towards Petra to go give it to them as this shape and as it shoots towards them they and you watch as it sort of forces itself trying to go down into her throat.
Oh no,
I'm gonna
it doesn't.
Okay, and it disappears with a wiggle into Petra as they
Damn it.
and the eyes go into dark voids. Kadam, you can react.
Yeah, so I immediately pull back the celestial word I was gonna say, and I'm going to turn undead.
Okay. Is that a saving throw?
That is, I would like a whiz save, please.
Okay.
All undead who can hear me within 30 feet. So if that affects the folks sitting in the little alcoves.
Okay. You release the energy of turn undead as you extend your mirror outwards, and you feel no undead presence within Petra as they and the head starts to kind of not hurting her in any way, but definitely definitely contorting their body a bit in an unnatural way. Feria looks mortified at this and is kind of like fumbling with her holy symbol. Do you want to try something, Calliope?
I think Calliope just runs up to embrace Petra. Like, no. Heimlich maneuver.
Okay. You run up and grab Petra with a hug, and you feel Petra grab onto your back and start to dig their hands into your back as hard as they can. This is just going to be an unarmed strike, essentially.
Fight it.
There's going to be one more. Actually, wait, because they did their thing. Calliope runs up, does that. Before we roll initiative, as you feel the hand starting to dig into your back, Feria will get a chance to react. Feria stumbles forward with that holy symbol and extends it outwards. As the symbol starts to alight with like a bright, warm sunlight, and they're going to use the holy symbol to essentially cast a spell. Let me see how it works. Wow. Okay. She places her hand, she comes running up and places her hand on Petra as she's saying these words, and the holy symbol alights with a warm sunlight. And Petra's head sort of turns and becomes this like horrible, angry visage of themselves, and the eyes sort of widening those black voids as they scream at Feria. And as Feria finishes the words, that shape is suddenly shunted out of the mouth, sort of ejecting out into the space, hovering above Petra as Petra goes limp. We can now all roll initiative as this figure is floating there above Petra. You are holding Petra in your arms, Calliope.
I didn't cast Gift of Alacrity on Rhea.
Here, let's actually go to the map. I mean, I don't think it's gonna get too tactical, but we'll see. Maybe it will.
I rolled a 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me jump us over there. Okay, so... So we're gonna say Pip fell down in the hole. Calliope ran up to Petra. We'll say that Petra was over by this pillar. And I'll grab.
Hey, did I get it? What happened?
Petra, no,
Yeah,
Petra.
that's a good spot right there. And Feria has run up and touched Petra, and this entity that is hovering just above Petra. Well, I'm gonna put it there for now. As
Oh.
Yeah, you recognize it, probably based on the art.
It does.
Okay. Let's start with you, Kadam. What'd you get?
6.
6. Okay. I need to clear. Okay. Kadam got a 6. Pip got a. What'd you get, Pip?
14.
14. And Calliope got
21. Unfortunately, because I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just panicking.
And this.
That's allowed.
Pip, what's your dexterity score?
Shoot. I have disadvantage on it. What's my dex? I'm having trouble accessing my. Oh,
okay.
Here we go.
What did Rhea get?
+1.
+1. Okay. What did Rhea get?
Rhea got an 11.
11. Okay. And I'll just. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to say that Valor was in a different part of the room. I don't want to track that many. And we'll say that, sure, Lulu will join in. Lulu is fast enough that Lulu would be able to jump in on this. Okay, awesome. First up, we do in fact have Calliope. So Calliope, this entity is hovering just above you. It's vaguely humanoid. It kind of has these like.
I'm not looking at it. Don't tell me about it.
Okay.
I'm looking at Petra. Is Petra hurt? How is Petra?
You look down at Petra in your arms, and you can see Petra's eyes sort of clearing, and they're breathing, and they make eye contact with you, and they look to be themselves.
We're getting. I'm just gonna take the disengage action and drag them out of range, just like this little old lady dragging this like weathered old sun-beaten elf.
Yes.
Like away from the monster.
Okay.
We're just little people on foot.
Yes. Go for it. Half movement as you pull yourself away from that.
5, 10, 15. And then Petra comes with. Can you put Petra above me?
Yes, I can.
Cool. And then Big Dummy, I think there's just like some activation thing of like protecting, of like, I guess like being in tune with like a Calliope, is going to rush over here, just like past Faria,
Okay.
and like take up kind of like a defensive position here,
Mm-hmm.
like blocking its path. And I think is going to make an attack on it.
Okay.
So this is my bonus action telling it to do that.
Awesome. Go for it.
Do Big Dummy. And it's not smart enough to do the flanking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might be. Let me see. Yeah, because it could just go around the long way like that. Yeah, okay. And we'll take the attack there. So advantage. Crit, 17 force damage.
Whoa. Okay. 17 force. I'm just checking something. Yep, that goes through. So, with a burst, this thing takes all of that damage.
And Dummy, it just like stands in between it and like where Calliope went, and it's like hunched down. Like if it had feathers, they'd just like all be standing on like end, like every single kind of like extremity. It's just like making it like look big as possible. With the tail kind of like waving somewhat uselessly because like Calliope's not there at the controls.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay.
Does this wait? I think this thing makes a noise. We've never heard it make a noise before, but Calliope's never like triggered it like this.
Okay.
I think it's just like, what would it be? I was gonna say something click, 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 but I think something of the companion. I think like as it opens its mouth, you hear the crackle of the largest fire. It's like there's a bonfire in the room, just auditorially. Just that tiny little like glowing thing. It's like crackling and like electricity, but kind of like in that deep like wood drying out and like steam escaping.
Very cool.
It's disconcerting how loud it is.
All right, awesome. So as that sound erupts from Big Dummy, the demon here is going to whip around and bring its claws down towards Big Dummy after doing that. All right, 17 to hit.
I believe that does hit.
Okay, so Big Dummy takes 11 points of piercing damage and 25 points of psychic damage.
Oh, shit.
Immunities,
Is
poison.
dummy-
It's not. It's a construct.
Is it
Does it
immune
take
to
psychic?
psychic?
It only lists poison
Okay.
immunity.
Well,
Cool.
yeah. So as the claws dig in, and there's kind of a coursing, like a course of dark energy that courses throughout the construct. It seems to twitch and
How much was that? That was a big number.
25 of psychic.
Oh. Okay.
And
It's
this
at
thing
4 HP. I
this
think.
thing sort of spins around looking at the room as the room is going into a panic and running away from it as it all right, next up is Pip. You are so you're 8 feet down in darkness in some sort of tunnel, and you just see a little bit of light from the like basically manhole above you.
Can I just pop out of the manhole and aim at this shadowy thing?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it would be like half movement, right, to like pull yourself up and aim, but yeah, go for it. Make an attack roll.
Okay. That was scary. I don't want to get closer to it. That's a 9! Damn it.
Oh no!
Are you kidding me?
I feel like every time you attack with your pistol, it's always okay. So fires off, and it unfortunately misses, not hitting the demon. Anything else for you, Pip?
Yeah. So I send Gilder out.
Okay.
I see that Big Dummy is it's kind of hurt. I send Gilder
It's
out,
like
and
it's gone reeling at this point. Like it's just like crippled. Like it went from all of its like feathers out to just like everything like flattened back, and it's just like kind of jerkily trying to get back to its feet.
Okay.
Dr. Gilder, go! And I get Gilder to cast Mend.
Oh, okay. So Gilder scurries up onto Big Dummy and starts to stitch close some of the wounds. How much does it heal for?
It's a good question. I think it's 10, right? Olive, do you?
I'll trust you.
It's some amount. I don't remember how much. Oh, 2d6 hit points.
2d6.
Six,
Okay. Do you roll it or should I?
You should roll it. You're casting it.
12!
Nice.
Whoa.
Wow. It'll still go down in one hit from this thing. I appreciate
Dr.
that.
Gilder. Yeah, I'm
Dr.
trying.
Gilder crit again.
That is incredible.
Okay, so I think does Gilder get into the pilot cockpit?
Oh my god, yes. Yes, Gilder gets into the pilot cockpit, and it's like extruding all of this sort of glittery orange paste on the little, and suturing things up as it climbs up, and then just sits in the cockpit.
That's amazing. Is that it for you, Pip? And Gilder?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Gilder's show.
Yeah. Lulu comes zipping around and is gonna flank with Feria, and she's gonna try to poke this demon with her tusks. with the 17. I think that hits. Hold on, why isn't the freaking AC listed on this thing? Oh yeah, that definitely hits. And she does. I think it's just. But Rhea is gonna be next. Hold on, I'm just seeing. Okay, it's just piercing damage. Okay, so, boink, pokes for 3 piercing damage to the demon, and Rhea is up.
Raya's going to swing in here and try out the sword.
Okay.
So flanking with Big Dummy. So, 22 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that definitely hits.
We're doing 2d6. 9 points of slashing?
For a
Is my
great sword,
guess?
yes, great as it is slashing, yeah.
Right. And then second attack, natural 20.
Whoo!
Nice.
$16 points of slashing.
Oh my goodness. Its form is starting to have a difficult time holding together as those 2 big hits carve into it. And you see it's kind of looking around down towards its feet, actually, or its whatever its wispy tail thing. Okay, is that it for Rhea?
Yep.
All
No
right.
bonus action with the greatsword.
That's right, yeah. Kadam, you're up.
Toll the dead. I would like a wisdom saving throw, please.
Alrighty. Wisdom save, here we go. That is a 15.
Oh, that just saves.
Does not work. I'm so sorry. Is that it for you, Kadam, as you hold the mirror towards it?
I'm gonna back up a bit.
Okay. Calliope, you're up.
Calliope turns furious. I'll get it. I'll be right back.
Petra is looking, like, very shook.
Bonus action first. Dummy is gonna attack it again.
Okay.
That's a second crit.
Ooh, okay. It's with the 10 points of damage. Okay. As this is the little mouthpiece thing that opens, right? The little, like,
Yeah.
aperture.
And so, like, with Gilder at the controls, Dr. Gilder, with their powers combined, like, Gilder gets, like, Big Dummy, who's, like, shaking and, like, barely able to, like, control itself, like, back on his legs. It kind of, like, gives a nod over its shoulder and turns, and, like, again, it opens its mouth, and there's just this, like, crackling fire as it just, like, blasts it with, like, the companion's light again. Everybody in this room knows this light well.
Amazing. Yeah, there's a large flash of that companion's light throughout the room as the crowd is pushed up against the far wall, all watching in sort of awe and terror as this is happening. So that was Big Dummy. Was Calliope gonna do something, or?
Yeah, Calliope is gonna go walk, mount up,
Okay.
using which takes half movement.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it from here.
Gilder
Um,
scuttles out of the way.
And let's do 2 lance attacks.
Alrighty.
Unfortunately, this is within 5 feet.
Yes.
I
so
don't want to take
straight-
an attack opportunity.
It is a
So
straight
I'm going to
roll.
do 2 straight rolls. 19 and 17 to hit.
Both those hit.
Wow.
That's 30 damage.
So
Piercing.
as the demon is like looking around, getting ready to duck down into the ground from whence it came, Calliope, you destroy it. What does it look like?
I think like that tail that's just like limp was kind of like a limp and like uncontrolled, but just like a hanging puppet. Snaps to alert and just like Zorros it.
Okay.
Like it like Zorros it and then like smoke kind of like disperses and then like starts coming back together. And just like before it can do anything, it just like comes back and just like over and over and over again.
Awesome. Yeah, and as it's trying to hold its form together, the tail whipping through the smoke, the form just dissipates and into the room as it's...
Is it dead? Do you know what that is? And I back up towards Petra with my remaining movement.
All right. You back...
Never seen that before.
You back up to Petra. You see them panting out of breath, looking straight at you. Wow. I've never seen you in action before. That was amazing.
Hey. Just save your breath. Here, what? Water. Can we get some of that water?
People
Bring water
immediately,
over.
people immediately start rushing around to help Petra, and everyone seems to kind of be gathering themselves once more, focusing on, okay, here's a way I can help, and everyone is kind of rushing to attention. Feria kind of lets out a long, deep sigh and leans against the wall, closing her eyes as she clutches her holy symbol.
Thank you, Feria.
Calliope will go up and like take her hands. Like, Feria, I owe you so much. You were so brave. What? I don't know what you did.
I can't... I'm not quite as capable as Kadam is here, but...
Hey, none of that.
I've spent most of my time, once I came here to the temple, I became fascinated with... People always used to kind of poke fun at me because it was so grim and morbid, but I became really fascinated with possession and how that all works. And my mentor, before they passed, they gave me this symbol, and they hold it up. It's supposed to be a powerful ward against it. They showed me how to use it before they passed, and that was the first time I've ever used it.
You did great.
I think I can only do that about 2 more times, though. It's limited in its use.
We'll get this closed up. Hopefully you won't have to again.
Okay, thank you all as well.
Of course.
All right, I'm okay. I need to go check on everyone else.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
She sits up and starts going through the room.
Okay, everyone else, let's get through this and close it up as quick as possible. Petra, I'm just gonna go over and have like a small moment with Petra. I don't think we need to have it on screen.
Yeah.
But
you give them the small dragon. As we see if you're all gonna duck down in.
After I say goodbye to Rhea, yeah.
Yeah. So we see you all have goodbyes. We see Calliope over there with Petra handing off the small dragon. Kadam, you're there with Rhea. Do you kind of do something as a goodbye, just to...
I thank her for her bravery, particularly in asking for help from a stranger.
She kind of smiles and looks at you. I've been doing a lot of things lately that scared the shit out of me. Thank you for acknowledging that.
You're welcome. Sometimes asking for help's a lot harder than not.
Yes, it is. Good luck.
Thank you. You as well.
And as you all start to duck down through the whole Pip, as you're leaving, you see Glim across the way kind of shoot you a look. Just
Pip
gives
kind of
a brief wave.
just like salutes with her gun.
He kind of laughs and pulls up his big blunderbuss and just kind of like holds it out almost like a cheers as you slip down into the darkened interior, the kind of having to put a lot of effort in to pull the statue back into place. But as it closes back into place, you start to hear the burble of water start to run up through the statue, and it clicks into place. You hear the toe up above go pop out into place, and you're now in this very dark, no light whatsoever. So those of you with dark vision are able to see, it is a stone tunnel that just extends outwards. Do you all start following it?
I cast Mending 3 times on Big Dummy.
All right, as Pip was closing it shut, you were just down there checking on Big Dummy, mending all the holes.
You did good.
The mouth kind of opens, the little aperture opens as that sound of crackling fire emanates within. And Big Dummy does seem to kind of like, normally is very like, kind of almost rigid and robotic, does seem to sort of lean down into you, almost like pressing into you.
Hey, yeah, that was scary, wasn't it? You did good.
And as the statue closes above, and if you start to follow this pathway, you follow it for probably, God, I mean a good, how big is the city? I'm gonna check something here. If this
Did it
map is
know?
accurate.
How was it right there? Was it waiting? Do they know about this?
Yeah, I think you
I would
travel-
love to make a religion check.
Yeah, as you're walking through this space, go ahead and make a religion check.
Hey, that's good. 18.
Wow,
You-
Kidam.
Yeah, you, again, I think just from stories, not necessarily text, the behavior and the sort of generalized form of this thing, which before it fully was destroyed, you were able to kind of make out its features. It had sort of an elongated snout and like semblances of a long, almost canine-like teeth coming off of the snout. Those sort of glinting eyes, which was very odd because the shape itself was almost ever moving and undulating, but the eyes themselves were almost like marbles, just catching the light. With those bat-like wings and long, gangly arms, you're pretty confident it was a shadow demon, meaning
That weren't no devil.
it weren't no devil, and it wasn't quite. From what you understand, a shadow demon was a demon that was destroyed, but somehow its essence didn't quite go back to wherever they're from and continue to move to be wherever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with its behavior, it seemed very just like almost hungry.
Yeah, it wasn't tactical in any way.
No.
Like it just,
And I'll say with an 18, you suspect that it probably somehow sensed the presence of mortals. And you suspect it was unable to find a way up through, likely because of the fountains.
Mm-hmm.
All of the holy water that's coursing above maybe was keeping it out. But as you're moving through this passageway for probably about a quarter mile, it's more or less straight. There's a couple of bends here and there. There's no real like branching passages, just a single path. You start to see light up ahead, and you start to hear the sound of battle. And we're gonna end tonight as you approach this light in the tunnel, as it grows and grows and grows until it fills your vision, and you step out into the hellish light of Avernus, and you see that you are standing at the edge of a drop-off, and on the other side of this sort of crevasse, you can see the other side of the tunnel that has crumbled away. And below you is just empty space all the way down to the river Styx below and the squirming, writhing masses of demons and devils. And as you look up above, you can see kind of this fissure that snakes and winds its way up to the top, wherever this may be within the city streets. So, this will be the obstacle you'll have to cross when we come back next time.
Okay.
I have levitation. It will be fine.
Oh, there you go.
I think we also have 2 potions of flight.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
actually, we do.
All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Like, oh, that looks unpleasant down there.
Oh my god. Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you all in 2 weeks, unless these hooligans here decide to do something.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks we will be all in the same place. Hopefully it will be a coherent stream. We'll see what happens.
We just spent the whole time trying to get across the crevasse.
We'll all just be huddled around one computer, just like
Pass it around.
yeah, just pass the computer around. Okay, now it's your turn.
In turn-based D&D.
Exactly.
For real.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
I can't believe you tried to take Petra away, Nathan.
Listen, I was looking through the different NPCs.
Oh,
And I was like, well, that would be perfect.
Which one will
So
hurt my players the
we
most?
should go.
Absolutely.
We should go.
Absolutely. As a
Um,
DM myself, I approve of that choice.
It was the right choice.
It was the right choice. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.